In the cut.
Hey,
what it do? What it do?
Chillin', Brody. How's your
Good
day?
morning.
Vietnam?
Good morning, Vietnam.
Hey, what a wonderful evening, man. I can't complain.
What's going on,
Man.
P?
Yeah,
My guy.
yeah.
Everything looks good. Everything sound good.
Yeah, man.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
You hear me clear?
All right. What you?
Good.
We got a special guest today.
Hell yeah, excited for this.
We gonna get to him though. How's your day?
Good, man. Amazing. You know, I went to work.
Uh-huh.
I did my little run today, so that was good. I had to get it out the way. And that was it, man. I was waiting for right now.
All
now.
right.
You ready?
It was cool. It was cool. I mean, I didn't really go much anywhere, but definitely did some work in the house. Yeah, man. So, well, let's jump into this, man. We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
Nelson, my guy, what's going on?
Hey, what up, Nels? That's my roommate.
So we got a special guest in the building. For those who don't know, man, this guy, he was, I met this guy I was cutting his hair. That's how I met this guy. And not only was I cutting his hair, but we connected off the bat. He was an entrepreneur, had his own clothing brand. Another kid from Queens, just out here getting it, and we connected off the jump, man. And I'm proud to say that he's not only a friend, but my brother today, and super talented individual overall. That's my first experience meeting him. I was cutting his hair, man. What was your? How do you know? This individual.
I mean, I definitely met J-Lo through you, right? And J-Lo, man, he's definitely my guy, man. It took me a minute to actually gel with him, but I'm glad it did because he's a very, very humble, hardworking person, man. Humble person. That's what I love about J-Lo, and he tell you as it is. You don't look like the type of person that tell you as it is, but sneakily he'll relay that message. He'll nip it in the bud. That's J-Lo right there.
Well, let's get him on here. Welcome, my guy, my brother,
my guy.
His own drums.
Yo, that intro was actually pretty fire. I didn't know you had that whole little music intro to it.
Shout out to the producer.
Yeah,
I was bumping.
Yeah, Eli did that.
For those if they were watching me, I was actually bumping to the song. It was just in the cut.
Relaxing. It's pretty a chill, very chill mode. I love it.
So what is this, episode 3?
Yeah, 3.
Hey,
Episode 3.
congratulations.
We came a long way. Every episode we
Came a
upgraded.
long way.
It's getting better, I tell you.
I got Facebook on here now.
Oh, damn. And Facebook? Hi,
Getting
Yes, that's what-
sponsored and everything.
Damn.
Hi, everybody that
So-
sees it on live. Hey, mom, if you're seeing this, watching this in Colombia, how's it going? Hola.
It might reach her. I'm sure this will reach her. So,
She got
but-
Facebook. She'll figure it out.
yeah, so I see I got your cups. Let's do a little virtual cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
My
Yeah,
3M cup.
I do have my tea. I'm drinking tea and
Yeah,
then
I don't. I got call me
Yo,
basic.
salute to episode 3.
Salute.
Thanks for being here.
Episode 3.
We got some people here. We got just Rose in the building, showing love.
Pretty good. Hello.
Cat. We got my man Key on here, baby. What's going on, Key?
Yo, what up, Key, man? I ain't gonna lie, man. Yeah, we miss you, man. You all right, buddy?
Hey there, buddy.
This is my man Key.
Hey, buddy.
man.
Definitely miss Key. That's my brother right there too, man. Family.
So we got my man J Lo in the building. Let him know who J Lo is. For those who don't know.
Woo.
Ooh, is that a question for Pedro or a question for me?
There's only one J Lo here, buddy.
Again, guys, thank you for having me in the podcast. Super fun, especially experiencing it for myself. But my name is John Lopez, 29 years young. Just a kid from Queens, man. I love art. I love to express myself visually. I was like an entrepreneur, like trying to do entrepreneur ways as far as I can remember when I was probably like around maybe like 10, 11 years old is when I first time picking up the camera, which is pretty cool. And I can just get into more depth into it, so I always try to figure out ways on how to be my own brand and identity and just how to figure being myself and learn how to make money of myself, so I just started picking different trades from the camera, tattooing, clothing line, and other ventures along the way. How I got to meet you guys, which is pretty dope. And yeah, man, it's been a good journey, and it's still going. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man. So talk about it, man. I mean, kid from Queens. We basically lived like 20 blocks from each other, had mutual friends, and we never came cross paths.
That is a fact. Yeah, that's so true. Actually, one of my closest friends actually really knows you. And you're pretty much close with him, and it's crazy how we never crossed paths like that until I actually got a haircut from you. Which is
So
wild.
side note, this is a crazy story. I knew about J-Lo before I knew J-Lo. I knew Trek. If anybody know Trek, this was back in the graffiti day when I was, we were, these guys were, first of all, this guy's a talented graphic designer, which obviously why he's a talented graphic designer as well. But I saw Trek everywhere. I walked around, yo, Trek, that's first of all, that's a dope tag.
You know what I mean?
That's why I had to come cool like jive. But nah, so what's Trek? What is that?
So obviously Trek is what I started doing back in elementary school, which is pretty much my tag name, right? And a good friend of mine's gave me that name, and the cool meaning behind that was meant traveling. As funny as it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy on the things that I love to do right now. So that's kind of cool how you brought that into it. So yeah, once it tied
That
back
makes
to
sense.
things that I'm doing now. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Like since you know what I'm talking. If you know, you know. But
like the Trek, the bike.
yeah, like pretty much like that brand. But I found like I was looking to a definition of what that meant, like in a history book when I was in elementary, and it was saying to tracking things and traveling, and I'm just like, oh, all right, cool.
I'm trying to write it on every wall.
Yeah, pretty much. But I had other tag names at the time, but then I got blessed with that one.
There's people right now that they coming after you, bro. They're like, oh, this is the guy, huh? Oh, this
Well,
is the guy.
Vandal Squad don't exist anymore, so we good.
Okay. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
But
So,
how it started off with my artistic side was from graffiti. So that was a cool little journey through that, huh?
makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. But from there, yeah, from graffiti, like you transition to tattooing. Like, how'd you get into tattooing? Like, what made you just say, you know what, you just woke up and say, hey, I'm gonna start tattooing? Like, how did that go?
How did that happen?
See,
because I remember I was trying to make money. I didn't want to work for somebody, and I was just like, how can I still make money doing being in the arts, right? So then I never had a tattoo at that time, and I was trying to be a tattoo artist without getting any tattoos, which is the funny part. But I started seeing people doing tattoos, and I thought it would be pretty cool for it. So I was just like, let me give that a shot. A good friend of mine actually introduced me to someone, a tattoo artist, that I had to literally go up to him and just pretty much give him a portfolio of all my drawings to see if I was able to be his apprentice. And he worked all the way in Sufton, Jamaica. So I would literally had to sacrifice from going to college, work, and then going over there like from 10, coming out of there like 2, 3 in the morning because it's one of those spots.
Oh wow!
Especially coming from Sufton at that time,
Yeah,
you know. So
at that side of town, no way.
yeah, so at that time it was pretty crazy, and I was just committed and hungry to learn that craft. So I was literally just shadowing him, just seeing how he was doing it, to the point where they would pretty much have to tell me like, "Yo, bro, you cannot be a tattoo artist if you do not have a tattoo." And then I ended up getting my first tattoo when I was 19 years old.
Put whatever on me.
No, that's the thing. Like, I'm super picky when it comes to what to put on my body, right? So that's why I never thought like I was gonna be like, I'll be the first tattoo artist without a tattoo.
Well, wait.
Yeah, but once they kind of convinced me, it's like, yo, bro, how you gonna know what to do if you don't know how it feels like? I'm just like, damn, you do got a point. And once I got my first tattoo, which was the most painful ever, I'm never gonna forget it, from my boy V. And ever since then, I just got addicted. Not stop getting it. It's just not stop, you know. Working from my whole arm, going to my chest now, and then I'm gonna start working my legs as well. So it was a fun craft, you know, and I'm perfecting every single time I have the chance to.
That's fire.
P got a tap from him. P got a tap from you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the little outline, the little.
Getting drunk. Sam got the point and Mike.
That is true.
Which I'm getting my supplies soon, so once this is all over, I'm getting back at it.
Yeah,
so for those that are listening, if you want some tattoo, let me know.
Right.
So then you tattooing, right? So after the tattooing, when does the clothing brand pop in?
Yeah.
All right, so cool. So like going back to graffiti, so my business partner in the clothing brand, right? He one day we were just hanging out in his house, and we were just having a huge get together because it was like pretty much like an open pad. So we would just all go there, hit the black books, do what we be doing. And one day he was just like, yo, bro, like, how about we stop getting in trouble doing what we're doing now? You know, going on bookings, doing all this and going through all that situation. It's just like, why don't we put it into something productive? And I was just like, what are you talking about? And I was just like, yo, like we should screen print on shirts. And bro, I was at that time, I had nothing. I didn't want to do anything with fashion. I didn't want to touch nothing with fashion. It's just like, yeah, let's put it on shirts. Let's put our designs on shirts. And I'm like, what makes you think we're actually going to do something with that? And it's like, I don't know, but we should just give it a shot. You know, he planted that seed in my head, and I was like, you know what? At the time, I was like, we got nothing going for ourselves other than just like to proceed and, you know, grow more. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. Okay. So we started putting just random drawings on shirts, and actually people were actually enjoying it and liking it and supporting us to a certain point where we slowly started maturing. Then it grew to the name Despierta, which beforehand our name was called Wake Up Inc. Right? Wake Up Inc. Wake Up Inc. But people
changed it.
yeah, but I'm saying it's trial and error, man. You know what I'm saying? We had no idea what we were doing. We were just like, hey, this is an idea. Let's see how far we can commit with it. You know what I'm saying?
You at?
And we called it Wake Up Inc., but we were getting a lot of criticism towards like, hey, it sounds like a tattoo shop, or it looks like it says Wake Up Pink. So we was just like, damn, we have to figure out another name that can stick to people. So it's just like, we got to figure out a way, like another name that can stick to people or kind of like hard to pronounce. And I started thinking of other different brands where I had trouble pronouncing the name, or it had really no meaning. Like Mishka, for an example, was a dope street brand back in the day, which it still is. But at that time, they were super fine. I'm just like, what the hell does Mishka even mean? You know, and it was a Russian word, which was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, all right, cool. And I started looking at my partners, the one that we started this brand, and we were all Hispanic, or at least half Hispanic. And we were just like, yo, what's the opposite of wake up? And then we were just like, despierta. At first, we were just like, does that really work? Does that really stick? But once we started giving it a shot, you know, it just rolled along, and we stuck with the spirit. And we actually started getting a lot of good feedback off that, because a lot of people took it in different ways, like subconsciously on like waking up, or whatever you take that art in a different sense, or like in time per like when it comes to like now branding wise, what our name Despierta means is like do what you love. So it's something that now I push on a lot of people, in which I'm trying to get it to that next level where you start seeing people, entrepreneurs, doing what they enjoy and love, wearing the brand. So Despierta. So that's something that I'm pushing along the lines as well, which is pretty cool.
That's fine.
Yeah, and one of P wearing your newest merch.
Hey, yeah.
He's one of my favorites.
The COVID save the world tee.
It's one of my
Stay
favorites.
safe.
Bro.
Stay safe.
I'm gonna go. I'm not even gonna watch it.
You better watch it.
So,
It's white.
Right? That's not joking.
It's
No, but
so
yeah, that's
funny,
a
man.
great
Every
job.
time, I think you know, you definitely have one of the hottest street brands out. You know, if you go on Instagram, you could check, you know, well into the street brand, and you know, like I love the branding. Honestly, every piece of clothes, the second I met this guy, I'm like, yo, bro, you gotta stop making clothes, man, because you can take all my money. You know, this guy's gonna take all my money because
And yeah, and this is just the beginning, bro. Just wait until we start dropping a lot more heat. It's just I'm just getting started, bro. This is just the beginning.
We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it, man. So I mean, so you know, I know you spoke about it a little bit. So but like Despierta overall, like to you, because you know, I see you, you know, really like doing the most with it. You know, so Nelson goes, where could we find, you know, the merch, you know, clothing brand?
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Where's the website? How we can find a clothing brand? Oh, so you can check it out on Instagram, which is at this. Can I type it or no? Just say it, right?
Right. Boom. Oh, whoops. Nah, that's yours.
Oh, that's me.
Boom.
Boom. Right there. So that's our social media right there. That's our Instagram, which in our bio, we have the website and other projects that we have going along as well. So follow, we show love back. You know, don't be shy. Reach out to us. We'll reach back. And whatever you like, man, you know,
because I know Nelson want to get the shirt, bro. That's what it is. Or
that's the shirt. I know Nelson. Yeah, he's been wearing this hoodie hard, so he's been representing. Thank you, Nelson.
After that story you told us, oh my goodness, Nelson probably had 5 of those.
Which this has been one of our hottest sellers.
Now everybody waiting for their shirts. Now everybody waiting for their shirts.
I got you, Jessica. I got you.
Started, which is like an amazing story. Like we enjoy that.
So talk about the spirit that's, you know, to you personally, like what does it mean to you? And you know, I'm sure it might, you know, it started off as one thing, it might have changed during time as you've grown as a person. So, you know, as far as like, you know, the spirit that's to you right now, like what does that mean to you?
What the spirit means to me, honestly, it's a platform. It's a platform, honestly, that I built for myself to escape in the beginning of everything. And a platform that I'm allowed to help others as well reach out to their creativity or their passions of what I can do to inspire them and motivate them, especially since I'm a videographer on the side building this brand. On all the content that I try to build from here on is just to help others achieve on what they want to achieve, and just built this, like I said, as a vehicle to just push their names out there as more, so like give them recognition that they need, because there's some talented people out there, you know, and they just don't have the platform to shine. And if I can do this for them, in a sense, was just like them just wearing our gear or just having them in a sense of just appearing on our gram or website and shout at them out, will give them an opportunity. So things of just like me reaching out to others and helping others achieve what they want, which is my goal. And I just love to design in general and just have a message behind every single piece, which is something that I like to apply when I drop something, which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, man, that's something that I've been trying to work on and having the name stand for.
Wow.
Got you. Yeah, like matter of fact, talk about the Icarus one you got on right now. What's the story behind that?
Story.
Oof. So the Icarus hoodie is one of my favorite pieces right here. So this is the Icarus hoodie, if you can hear me right now, right? So for those that do not know the story of Icarus, it's a Greek mythology story, right? Where comes the angel that flew too close to the sun and got killed, right? So one of the stories behind that is that one of the fathers was a great inventor, and he got kicked out for whatever reasons at not his country, his village for something that he has done, went to another village, helped rebuild that civilization with his creativeness and inventions, right? And at that time he had a son, right? And towards that son, he helped someone, that father helped someone, some lady that she's like, oh, I wanted to mate with a bull, right? And she helped him mate with a bull and then had a son, which called a Lapithid, which is half man, half bull, right? And from there, he got in trouble for doing that. And then he had to invent something, which is what's exactly the name? The labyrinth. Can't pronounce it right. Where literally where they put the half man, half bull inside, and it's like a maze. Well, he forever will be lost in it, right? And they locked him up with his son in the tallest tower. And because he was an inventor, he was just like, look, we have to get out of here. And I found a way how we can do it, right? Because every time birds would fly around, they'll drop feathers on top of that tower. And he was just like, hey, son, we're going to fly out of here, right? So what he did, what he built literally with glue, or I'm not too sure, with glue and feathers and sticks, wings for him and his son. And they were going to literally fly out of the tower and to freedom. And the cool thing about that, it was just the fact that he told his sons, like, look, man, you can't fly too low because you're going to fall and drown right into the water. And you can't fly too high because the sun is going to melt the glue off the feathers and you're going to just fall down and die, right? So you have to fly right in the middle. So once they took off, the father was flying right in the middle and the son was flying right behind him. But the thing is that at that time, when there were gods in existence, right? So they were looking at the father and the son. Is just like, oh, look at the gods flying above it. And pretty much the kid's ego just grew. Right. And he just started thinking of himself like, oh, I am a god. And he just probably started getting cocky and started flying higher and higher and higher. And the father pretty much could not do anything but just to watch his son go closer and closer to the sun, to the point where he got too close to the sun, where his ego literally killed him, burned the feathers off his wings, and he had to literally watch his son crumble to the ocean and die. And he flew to safety and literally live on his own. So the moral of the story is just like, don't let your ego kill you. Right. And towards my journey and everything that I've done, especially with this brand, I gone through situations where I met people from that literally come from nothing, and then they end up becoming someone, and their egos let their relationships ruin other people that helped them build where they gone to. Right. So I built this hoodie for my relationships, building with other people that done me dirty, done me wrong, and I seen done other people wrong. So it's this is like a token in a sense of just like to humble yourself. Right, to remember where you come from, and the fact that in this industry, it's a cutthroat industry, right? So you have to have the mental game for this, and that's why I made this hoodie, because it's like my journey, my passion. Like I said, I put a little message on everything that I put on what I go through in my life, so people could relate to as well. And this is actually one of my favorite hoodies. So yeah, so that's the story behind the Icarus hoodie, and I put our brand there on the side, the Spirit of Red for blood, which is pretty cool, pretty deep.
Fire. That was crazy. I actually I didn't hear the whole story. That's the first time I heard the whole story. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
And that's actually one of my favorite hoodies too.
It was just like the first time. I promise you, man. I heard the story like we was late night and we was like, we want one, right? And Nelson definitely heard this one too. Behind the scene, like that story.
I'm about to buy another one after this.
I'm about to buy another one for you. Good.
I've been asking for that too, Nelson, and he's got to give me one. He's holding out, bro.
I got you, Keegan. I got you.
So all right. So now, that's and that's actually again one of the most fire things. Like my man Marco just pointed out, like having a story behind it, makes me want to rock it more. And I'm personally a fan of just rocking my. People that I know their brands. I'm done going to the mall, man. Like H&M, PacSun, done with my money. I'm going. I'm.
Some of them we same quality, anyways, bro. And you're paying the same money. I'd rather give it to my buddy,
my buddy.
It's my buddies before I give it to Mr. Polo himself. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. So I enjoy your clothing brand anyway. So
straight up, I think you are like living proof of your brand, bro, and I think that's why you guys do so well as well. Because you back up what you're trying to put out there, and I think again that's the reason why you guys do so well, man. If you don't have on the gram, I would definitely follow them. Again at the Spirit the NYC. My man Marco says, I want to be J-Lo's
Well, you're a brother now, bro. So
Yeah,
you're a brother now. You're part of the family.
friend. But so look, right? I mean, what I mean, as far as so you started tattooing before you did the clothing line, right?
So funny enough, yes, I was tattooing first before I started the brand. Yeah, because right after high school is when I started tattooing, and then I wasn't taking the brand as serious because again, it was just drawing and putting it on a shirt.
Just like trial and error.
And then trial and error. And then until I actually started getting some traction. So it was just like, all right, maybe this got some sort of potential. And then we started taking it serious.
Okay.
So it was like about maybe 2015, about maybe.
Oh, that's lit.
No, wait, lies. Yeah, about 2015, 16. It's when I slowly started
So all right.
which it was Wake Up Ink at the moment, but it was just literally stencils on a shirt.
Wake Up Ink. That sounds like a tattoo.
Yeah,
Wake Up Pink. Wake Up Pink is
I feel like
hilarious.
that's what put brought me to the direction of being a tattoo artist as well because of that name. Wake Up Pink is a matters fact. I was like be an artist as well.
So after then a videographer at the same time.
And then the videography came from skating. Which is pretty cool. So I'm an aggressive inliner. So that's pretty much like honestly, bro, graffiti and inlining saved my life. You know, like it took me away from a lot. You know,
that was
the people that I was surrounded by at that time. It took me away from that path where it's just like I started meeting other individuals and and honestly, and that's what got me excited to travel because skating and graffiti is what introduced me to all 5 boroughs and states.
Yeah, you're out.
I'll tell you this: if it wasn't for that, I would just be a Queens boy, straight from Queens, not doing anything. Graffiti brought me to Staten Island, to PA, you know, Queens, all different types. And I started meeting people from the high school that I went to. It was like the mecca of graffiti. All boroughs and states went there, and everybody from like big names were in there, and I got to meet and I got to learn from them, which was pretty cool. And that's what inspired me as an artist. Like I learned more doing graffiti, as crazy as it is, with them than being a part of the school. I didn't learn anything from school, which is crazy. When I really think about it, it's just like I didn't learn anything.
Is it really?
Like I didn't learn anything from high school going there for photography. You know what I'm saying? And I came out there with a degree of graffiti and skating.
Well, listen, man, and that brings me to this, man. Yo, 5 points will be missed.
Oh, rest in peace. Yes.
Building, man. Rest in peace,
which
man.
I heard they're doing another factory.
They're probably gonna open it up like to the public or you know, like.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what they're doing there, but I heard they have another factory opening up there. They're trying to make it similar to 5 points. So they're just filling it up with just different artists from all different type of countries and just doing mural pieces and all that stuff, which is pretty cool.
Oh, Trek is coming back.
Oh, nah, that's a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna bike is right Trek on it.
Rusty.
So I want to talk about, you know, again, the entrepreneur side of, you know, your ventures now too, right? So, you know, obviously you still got the clothing brand, do network marketing, you just do a bunch of different things, man. You're a hustler, you know, and again, that's why I think we get along, man. So, you know, what do you think, you know, in the past, you know, since we met, obviously, what are some of the things that, you know, helped you the most, or some things that you learned that have helped you the most as far as growing your brand as, you know, the Spirit NYC, as John Lopez, as, you know, what are some things you've learned, some skills you've learned that you've been able to take away from?
One of the skills which was mainly important, which I never did, was networking, which is one of the big keys of like really getting to meet new people, new faces, introducing myself, putting my face in the front. And that opened a lot of doors. Because if it wasn't for meeting new people from different areas, they started shouting me out, you know, representing me and just sharing it like word of mouth in a sense. You know, if it wasn't dead ass for word of mouth advertising, me meeting different type of people, me introducing my brand, them liking my brand, me respecting what they do and showing love back, I don't think this would have gone as far, even though as skillful and how cool you think this is. If no one's not seeing this, you know what I'm saying? No one's gonna know about it.
Yeah.
And the more meeting more people, and then they started seeing me wearing it, and I would tell them what I'd be doing. it started spreading out more and more and more. And then that's when I saw like building relationships towards the that end was key. Right. So that was definitely one skill. Building relationships. Building relationships was definitely key. Like really thinking about it right now. So that's what really helped it. Other than me being committed enough, being the one-man band and like learning everything that I need to do, you know, doing the videos, the photos, designing, pretty much everything at that point. So it's just like other than
one
that,
man team right there, bro.
So that's what you was doing. You was doing it like by yourself?
I have a team of 4. Well, including me is 4, but honestly, not to be putting them on the bus or anything, but it's just like in the like doing all the work. It was really me, the designing, the videoing, and the other guys would be more on the networking side. You know,
I mean,
their network when you see our brand. So from there, we'll start.
Everybody got a role. Everybody got a role.
Yeah, everybody had a role.
So in other words, you're telling me you gotta have.
I just knew that I didn't have money to pay people to shoot for me. I didn't have money people to design for me. So I was just like, I gotta learn these skills myself.
Did it yourself,
you know? So I was just like, if I don't do this, no one's gonna do it.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that everything that you've been doing since I met you, you learn on your own, bro?
YouTube University, brother.
The video, like everything.
Yeah.
On your own, bro?
Yeah. And it's like one thing that how I live my life is not how you start, it's how you finish.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So like I knew I didn't know how to do something, but I was like, I know I'm gonna figure out along the way. You know, and I knew if I can just commit doing it and working on it and building, I would perfect it. Of course. And little by little, if I were to show you my videos, if I were to show you my designs back in the day, you just be like,
me, bro.
You know, you'll be one of those guys back in the day that wouldn't even support me.
Oh, when you got episode 1, by the time we get to episode 20, we don't even know about it no more.
Exactly. You know, so and it's crazy. Back in the day, people didn't support me in my brand. You know? People didn't believe in what I saw where this was gonna be at.
But why change that? Like, what you mean? Like back in days, like didn't people see your brand? Like, why change that today where people see your brand? Is it because you surrounding yourself with a different type of crowd, or what is it really? Like, is it because you just spreading the word out? I guess to everyone. Is that how you catching? I mean, how does that work?
It's honestly, it's just like when you, for an example, this podcast, right? It was just a seed. When you were just talking about it was just a seed, you know, it was just an idea. It was just an idea. When Jai brought it up, it was like, yo, I want to do a platform.
Holy scary shit.
Right? And we were just all like, me in person, I was just like, a podcast. I'm just like, and I'm not the type of person that likes to be anywhere in front of the camera and talking. So it was just an idea, but he saw where this can go, right? The same thing he was seeing where this podcast can go is with the same thing with my brand. Like no one understood what my vision was for this brand, and it was just like, oh, he just wants to make a clothing line. And especially at the time of how I was designing things, it just didn't look wearable at all.
A question: when you say no one understood this brand, no one understood like what about as far as like your team? Did your team understood your vision? Just like I understood Johnny's vision. Where we going with this? That's why I said, here we go, man. We're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
what's going on. I just had to like I guess figure out too, because not. He knows where it's at. He planted the seed like in me where I see the vision where we're going. It's just a matter of like now we gotta execute, right? So that that's
exactly execute it. And again, I hate fashion. I hate fashion. I hate buying clothes. I hate being that fashion type of hype beast type of guy. I'm if you know me, I'm simple. I'm a simple type of dude. And when my boy planted that idea of just like, yo, let's just slap stencils on a shirt, I was like, I didn't really know where he was going with that. But then I was like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Other than just going out, being the vandal as we were, getting in trouble, might as well we do something productive about it. And it grew into something. And once I saw the potential what we had, and I'm just like, yo, we can actually do something good for this, you know? It's when I saw the long term of what this was, which was crazy. It's just like I saw it. I was like, I didn't know how it was gonna happen. But I had the vision of just like this brand being mainstream, or not even mainstream, just quiet, but yet having a platform for other individuals to join us and build with us, you know? And for an example, it's just like we work with so many different other artists, which just comes to singing, painters, podcasts, for an example, all these type of platforms where we can join as one, and I can have a platform where it could just introduce them to a whole different network that they don't know about, right? And that's something that I want to do, is just help other people grow while they can wear my stuff, you know. So it's a win-win for me.
That's dope.
So I want to dive into again, going back to the skills that you learned along the way. One of the things that you said was build relationships, right? And I see celebrities wearing your clothes, obviously in the land community. So how was it like? How were you? What was your when you were like, damn, I got to build these relationships, and how do you get, how do you have some of these celebrities rocking your stuff, and as just building your business, what was that like?
Building relationships is I'm trying to build a voice, have a voice. That's what the platform is. Having the podcast is to have a voice for the people that don't have a voice, right? My brand, I'm trying to build that voice for other communities, the Spanish communities, the Black communities, for those that want to do something more for themselves, but yet don't have that ability for it, or just don't have that motivation. And I want to be that motivation and inspire them to do that, right? So if I can invite them when it comes to a point of just like wearing our stuff, having workshops, or just interning, teaching them how to use Photoshop, teaching them how to do more, be productive with us, do events where people can come along, meet other people and network and talk, and just talk about like what is it that they're passionate about. Maybe there's other people in the crowd that are doing what they're doing, and they can shadow them at one point, right? So that's something that I see myself building more with this brand. And damn, this wine is kicking in. What was I talking about? I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I gotta slow down.
Yeah.
So check it, and you reaching, like, again, going back to, because maybe I know there's some people that might be on here that want to start, that eventually they're gonna see this, they want to start their own clothing brand. They're thinking like, cool, I want to get celebrities to rock my stuff too. Like, how fast was it for you to get someone to rock your stuff?
Bro, if I tell you, I'll tell you the story on how I got J Balvin to wear my shirt, my hoodie.
There you go.
And
We want to hear J Balvin's story.
Yeah, that was like, I saw that.
To get Bad Bunny to wear it, but when I had J Balvin to wear my stuff, it was a whole mission and a half, bro. Like, I literally had to be like a groupie. You know what I'm saying? So I had a homegirl that told me like, hey, I'm like, she was the type of girl that she'll look in the Instagrams and see where they at. She's like, oh, he's in New York City. Okay, so he's here. Her, by just knowing by a building, she knows where he's at. And she found out where his hotel was. So I was just like, all right. And again, this is me that I hate to do something like this, to beg for somebody to wear my stuff. But I'm just like, you know what? If I don't knock and try, you never know. So we went to the hotel. Well, first it was like fashion week. So we were trying to look for where he was. I was with a care package just saying, look for him. We couldn't find him. We found the hotel that he was staying at. And I literally stood there from 6 p.m. one day, 6 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m, waiting for him in the lobby. No show. The next day, again, 6 p.m. to 4 a.m. No show. The next day, 6 a.m. And then it was like maybe around 1 p.m. And I was like honestly getting tired. And I'm just like, damn, I'm gonna wait one more hour. And lucky from there, it's just like, that's when he walks in with his posse. And I'm just like, ah. So I was just like, all right, go. I walked to him. And then I was just like, I speak to him in Spanish, so he can hear my Colombian accent, but like maybe parcero or parcero love. He'll show me more love on it. And whatever, I pretty much expressed to him what the brand is, what it means to me, and what we can do together as a team at one point if we represent each other. And at the end of the day, I shot my shot, and I gave him the care package, show him everything that I was giving him. And then one day, literally, it wasn't that same day, but it was like maybe a couple of weeks, a month after, someone sends me a picture of him wearing the hoodie. And I'm like, oh, snap. So he's actually wearing the hoodie, which is pretty cool. And then after that, it just started blowing up all over the place, where he was wearing my hoodie with all these different type of people in the airports, chilling, hanging outside. So it was just pretty cool seeing that happen. I'm just like, I got to continue this momentum, right? And cool enough, too, like not having him not only wear my stuff, I was able to get Dave East, a rapper, to actually wear one of my hats, that he actually bought my hat in Japan, which was crazy. So it was overseas that he bought it, which was fire. And it was just a matter, again, the commitment of like trying to, like, if you want something to happen, you're going to make it happen. And I told myself, I'm going to have J Balvin wear my stuff. And boom, I got him to wear it. And sure enough, I know that I'm going to be able to have him to wear it again once I built a little bit more of a collection for him. But it's going to happen.
That was.
Some people would have, after that first day, some people would have gave up already.
Yeah,
You know how bored I was in the hotel, like in that lobby, just waiting, just people looking at me, just like, hey,
Al Nelson want the whole collection after that story, bro.
like knocking out in the bench, waking up, like, oh, did I miss him? Like, no, all right.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you want it, so if you want it bad, you'll sacrifice for it, man. That's why I tell a lot of people, you do what it takes for it.
That's better than camping for sneakers on a Saturday morning.
For me, yeah, way better than that.
Definitely. I mean, I saw that picture. I think it's a beautiful picture, and it was worth it. I mean, after hearing your story right now, bro, I think everything that you went through those 3 days was worth it, bro, and it paid off, right? Because now I see your stuff everywhere. You know,
It definitely took a big jump once people started seeing him wearing my sweater. So that was a good little jump there. So, and now again, it's building relationships. Now I'm building relationship with stylists. I'm building relationships with PR people, and it's just a matter of time when things are set for me that I feel like that I'm ready. Start putting to the masses. So it's just all about timing for me. I'm not in no rush. Like, it's my journey, as we say right now. It's all marathon, you know. So it's a marathon, you know. So I'm taking my time for it. There's no rush because I know the end goal where this is gonna be at. So I have confidence in knowing where I'm gonna be. So I'll take my time.
of course,
I'm placing the pieces.
it was
like a game of chess.
right.
I respect it.
If we stay in the lane, right?
Exactly. Focus, bro. Focus.
Stay in the lane.
Let's talk about this too. So, again, I see you personally, again, I think, you are not only the voice, but you are physical proof of what your brand is representing, right? You're not only the creator, but you're the mascot of it, because you really live in this life, and I respect you, for that. It showed me what a brand was compared to, sales, right? Like someone just making something creative and just throwing it out there to make some extra money on the side or whatever, compared to a brand that has a meaning, so like, a lot of people think, sales and branding are one and another, but me personally, I realized like we talk about The Last Dance and Michael Jordan. Nike wasn't even top two, that was coming after Jordan. Nike became the number one basketball sneaker after Jordan, after the Jordan fact.
Yeah.
So it's like
After they collabed.
the brand, like that branding behind it, of obviously Air Jordan, the GOAT, and where it took, where it took Nike to a whole nother level, which eventually led to the massive sales in Nike. But, same thing with you. That's where I see this going. Like, your whole brand is, do what you love, and with that, that's it. It literally says it. You don't have to, it's not like one of those things where, I'm just, it's like it's not like a trendy thing. Like, this is something that's like, each one is a piece of art. And I respect. That's why, honestly, I think that your spirit is blowing up the way that it is, and why so many people love it. And it's such a word, and I think it's grown because of the branding. I think it's grown from like your average streetwear to like a your more worldwide kind of brand where it's, again, like you mentioned, something that's seen more around the world rather than just seeing it on the street. Although when I do see people around the hood rocking it, I'm just like, yo, that's what's up. That's my man stuff. That's what's up.
I see it in the gym. I see it when the gyms are open.
We low key around.
They somewhere.
We low key around.
Yeah, so they out there.
We're heavy in the Lower East Side in Brooklyn, so that's where we get a lot of love from. And then, surprisingly enough, Florida. We get a lot of love from Florida as well too, which is pretty cool. And Malaysia. Last time we had to cut the costs of people, around the world because the shipping was so high for us that there was a lot of people in Australia buying, and in Malaysia, which was crazy. So we had to cut that off because we weren't ready for that. So it was pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So I learned a lot. With branding as well. Some books that have helped me personally, with branding, instead of being too salesy. One of them was How to Win Friends and Influence People. Man, that book is like one of the holy grails of building relationships and just making connections and networking, man. Like, that book right there really made me understand the power of having connections and building relationships.
Like you can
So
definitely find something in that book.
yeah, How to
Probably
Win Friends and Influence
There's
People.
some gems in that book for
a
sure.
lot. I mean,
If you
that
if you want the newer one, like there's a millennial version, right, of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Gary V's
which one? That
Jab,
one?
jab, jab,
Right,
jab, 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 right hook, right? Like that book right there by Gary V. It's just like a millennial version of How to Win Friends and Influence. How to Friends and Influence People is like, the principle has been around for a longer time. So jab, 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 right hook is more of a, the for the younger generation can understand it better. Jab, 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 right hook. Basically means jab means give, right? Give, 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 and then right hook means ask. So, that's what I realized. As far as where sales comes in, and opposed to branding. Why do some brands do way better than others? Why do some companies do way better than others? And these books, those two books, definitely help me out with that. A lot of people automatically ask right away, like you mentioned, right? Like you waited a few days and explained your whole story, behind the process before you gave J Balvin and stuff. Some people are just sending a care package and expecting people to rock it.
Well, I sent them a care package too, so I was just trying to reach them in all different ways.
Which is true, but given like once giving people some value first, I've always seen it come back 10 times fold. As far as that goes. So
well, I felt like it was also a success too because it was more of a personal level. He got to meet me, I got to meet him. We were able to speak for a little bit, and he just got to see how passionate I was about what I was doing. And I feel as well the name Despierta, he got to see the meaning. Like the one thing about that is like just the name alone, I don't even have to tell you what the meaning it is for me. You can make up the meaning one for yourself. Like you watch, like you see an piece of art, right? Like whatever the artist thought of him doing that in whatever way, like when you put that in a museum and people are just passing by and you just see them doing that look like, it's like they're giving it their own meaning, their own story. And that's why I want people, when they see my pieces, our clothing, to see what story they can give it, or what they can relate to. And that's how this brand grew so much, because we were able to relate with our customers. You know what I'm saying? So people were able to relate with each piece, which I felt like that was a super, super successful move for us. So it's always resembling back to our customer, and since it was so relatable, a lot of people would wear it, So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's tough because if you bring me
that kind of little life hack on branding,
because if you bring me to one of them art shows, right, you're right. Because if every time I look at like a picture, I don't even know what they mean, bro. Kathy knows. She'd be like, "Oh look, you can see the ocean." I said, "No, I don't." You can see the lady. Right? I just really don't know what's going on. But with your piece, though, at least you told me the story, and I'm like, "Oh, I get."
And then when they hear the story, that's when you catch it.
They probably need someone standing next to the picture or something, and the painting, so I can understand what's going on.
So it's like when you put it your own story and you give it your own significant meaning, and then when you hear the side of the artist's story, it's just a whole emotional transaction now that you have with that piece.
Pretty much you teach me right now. Like, okay, now I understand it's always is bigger than what it is, but like that's why I mess with you, bro. Like you tell me what it is, because I have no idea what those portraits are. And I mean, take me to an art gallery. Oh well, that's a nice color.
Yeah, I just go to the galleries for the free wine and cheese.
Oh, that right? That's right. That's the same way I go to casino just to get a free.
Just the free drinks. I don't even play poker, but let me get a cup, please.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, man. That's
but look, new merch in the works.
That's one.
Yeah, we got the summer coming along.
Oh, it wasn't this?
I keep it on the wraps. No, that was just more of just like a drop because of what just happened, So again, staying relevant, which is super important for branding.
Yeah,
staying relevant is super important. If it's just one piece, two pieces, whatever the case, but just keeping the customer, entertained.
Yeah, like this. This is probably, it meant something to a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's like a classic piece. It's like I thought of it like a concert shirt, or some sort of pretty much like a concert shirt, a band shirt, where people can look back to the shirt and be like, wow, I remember that time. You know, like we survived COVID-19. Like that was a crazy ass time, and this is a shirt for it. You know, like when you were to go to a concert and you get it signed by somebody or hold it, and when you're looking at it like years after and you're going through the laundry bag or your closet and be like, wow, I remember this year. So that's like that piece is gonna be that for that. So it's just pretty cool.
So look, right?
Now I gotta get a shirt.
I know. But look, right? You gotta. Nelson have a question where he's saying, what programs would you recommend for someone to use who wants to design clothing for the first time?
I would say a pencil paper, a piece of paper and a pencil. Right now, just draw, sketch.
Right?
Yeah. Keep it old school. Keep it old school. No, I'm joking. But that would definitely help as, you know, building ideas and mood boards. But something that I started off with was Photoshop. And then once I started getting into a little bit more into fashion, I learned that it was Illustrator, what made things a lot more easier for me to use to design. So I would say Illustrator. Started learning how to use Illustrator.
So like back that up, right? Like what would you give like that question back in that question? What would you give what advice would you give a person that's gonna try to like, you know, like trying to create a clothing brand? Like what advice would you give that person?
If they're trying to start a brand, like the first steps on starting a brand.
Yeah. What would you what advice would you give that person? Like, hey, you know, I'm about to start a clothing line. You know, like have any advice for me? Like, what should I do? Do's and don'ts, or whatever the case is. Right.
Honestly, the first question I would ask them is why. Why would you want to build it?
And from there you go depth. I want to build it because
what's your why for building that brand? Reason, because once you find out what's your why in reality, from there on that grows into that mission to complete that. You know, when I found out what my why was to help other individuals build opportunities, jobs, even, you know, for my homies. One day, once I have a whole, let's say, buy a building, you know what I'm saying, and I have my studio, my working place, and then I can just apply more jobs for people when it comes to shipping, working for us designers and stuff like that. So then that was my why, to be able to build this into a culture for my community, for my homies, and for what I love to do, which is the skating, graffiti, travel. But it's definitely for me to help back and reach back and help, and for those that are creatives, you know, because we starving artists, you know. So it's definitely a platform that I feel like if I can help other artists grow.
Fine, that was a good answer.
It's I get goosebumps just thinking about it, because I just know this is just the beginning. I'm just waiting for the right timing for things to hit, to take it to a whole nother level.
Well, because if you was trying to give me one of your sweaters, I'm gonna make you wait 5 days, bro. So you can
yeah. No, I like that approach too, though. I like that approach too, bro. It's a lot of people do things off of just because of it's a trend. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you got that why behind it, just like anything else, you know, take you a long way.
Definitely. Now that I hear your like the whole like story behind it, like you definitely came a long way, as far as like your clothing and as far as you like your tattooing and videographer things that you do, like that kind of like, I think the most what shocked me is you doing the videos after you telling me.
Oh,
like,
my man he's a storyteller. That's what he is. He's a storyteller.
I understand that part, that he's a storyteller. Like I can see through his work, but I could have sworn you went to school for that, bro. Because now I know you didn't go to school for that. I mean, shame on the people that pay thousands of dollars to learn what to do. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like you didn't. You telling me you learned that for free and you did it on your own. It took a lot of time. Took a lot of like practice. It took a lot of being there, right? Like working on your craft. And that's just to show you that if you just keep going, right? Just keep going, working on your stuff, you'll get there. Like you perfect it. Right?
Practice. Like for an example, like right now I'm working on a music video for one of my good friends that I'm working with. His name is 2 a.m. You guys could check him out. Listen to 2 a.m. once again.
2 a.m.
So it's an artist that I'm working with right now, and I just recently shot his newest single, and I'm literally here every single day until like 3, 4 in the morning working on this video.
Shooting the video, like you shot the video.
I just shot the video, but now I'm editing it.
Take like selfies, like and you put yourself in a video.
No, funny enough that I because the cool thing is that what I'm trying to do with this video thing when it comes to the whole music thing or just in general is you know how what's his name from Marvel? It's not Spike Lee. Is it Spike Lee? Is it Spike Lee?
Marvel?
Yeah, Marvel. Stanley. There you go. I was confusing him with him. Stanley, the old man. You see that he puts himself in the movie in whatever situation. He's the mailman, the guy reading the newspaper. So he puts himself in the randomest like roles in the movie. And I kind of want to do that with myself in the music videos, you know. So I wanna record it. Say that again.
I said I asked that question for a reason because I have a feeling you'd be doing that.
Yeah, so like it just recently hit me, and I'm just like, yo, I kind of want to add myself in the videos.
Yeah,
and just like doing something randomly, just just
like you just came out of nowhere.
Just have fun with it, and and that's one of the things that whoever it is starting a brand, videography, photography, any type of passion that you have, just have fun with it. Don't take it too serious, because if you treat it as something just for making money, you're gonna hate it. Trust me, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah, you probably get frustrated.
You're gonna get super frustrated. You don't want to do it anymore. Anything gets you just pissed off. People around you that's trying. It's just not worth it, man. So always remember to love what you do.
Because energy doesn't lie.
Stanley came a little late there, buddy.
I told you. But yeah, it's definitely like that. That was amazing. That's what I figured you were gonna say. Anyways, I didn't expect anything less than what you said. So that was dope.
Yeah. So for those that like videography, YouTube.
Damn, man, like that. I'm still amazed. I'm still like, wow.
YouTube. Illustrator, YouTube, Photoshop, YouTube, learning how to walk, YouTube.
David Guetta did that too, she says.
Oh, we're gonna call
hey, she knows what she's talking about, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch David Guetta now.
I'm gonna go look up some videos with David Guetta. I don't even know what he looks like.
I want to see where he be popping up. Is it like
the videos
type stuff?
My favorite one that he did was with Kid Cudi, him and Kid Cudi, which is pretty cool. That was a nice video.
Look that up, man. What's his name? David Guetta.
David Guetta.
So as we bring this in, as a creative, as a hustler, as an entrepreneur, as a network marketer, as a someone that walks the walk, not only talks the talk, man. Leave these people with something. Leave these people with something they could walk away with.
It's pretty much what I've just been talking about this whole entire conversation, this podcast right now. Is just like, enjoy what you do. Time is short. Don't try to stress yourself on how to make your money. It's like, love what you do and don't worry how much you make, because along the way money will come, right? So if it's singing, pursue it. If it's drawing, pursue it. If it's painting, pursue it. If it's the brand, pursue it. Just make sure that you put it 100% onto it, because if you do not do that, you will not achieve that goal. Because when the day comes to it, when you're trying to pursue that goal, that marathon, reaching that finish line, and you tell yourself, you got to be honest with yourself, did I give it my full? Did I give it my full 100 to it? And that's the last question that you have to say. And like I said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Everything that we do not know how we're going to begin it. And it starts as an idea, at the end is about where we get to. And from there on, take it to a whole nother level. So it's just, again, I'll leave it as just that. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and make sure you give it your fullest and love what you do.
But in other words, don't quit.
Don't quit. Don't ever quit. And obviously this is why I love what I do, because I got to see a lot of people, especially building this brand at that time, of people that started at that same type of year, and we were nobodies, just going in the same pop-ups, showing up in the same events, people wearing the same type of, supporting each other. And then in time, like throughout the years passing, you just started seeing people just dropping, quitting what they're doing, and we just continuing, and we got to see who's really about it and who's not.
Do real things.
Yeah, and what you do, something is how you do everything, and this is something that I saw myself pursuing, and I just wasn't gonna give up, no matter how hard it was gonna see, how many obstacles I was gonna hit. I was gonna find a solution and find my way around it, because then I just can't be a regular Joe, man. I just can't be working a 9 to 5 working for somebody else. A regular Joe, an average Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just knew I can add more value in so many different ways. I can add value in so many different ways. Being at an office somewhere stuck, giving someone else that ability to do so wasn't gonna be that. So I'm so glad that I took that risk and that leap of faith and doing something that I enjoy and I love doing, even though it's a struggle. But it's paying off. You know what I'm saying? I did not quit. It's coming together, and you just applied on everything new. It's just in life how it is, you know. We all scared in the beginning, but then once we start doing it, we're just gonna start enjoying it, loving the process.
Nature.
Exactly.
Yes, I love it. Damn.
With that, my people.
Damn.
Hopefully, y'all find y'all truth in the cut with tonight.
Damn.
Shout out to my man J-Lo for stopping by. He's usually behind the camera.
Appreciate it.
Hey,
Yeah, I hate being in front of the camera.
I
So
appreciate everyone.
he's stepping out of my comfort zone for this.
I mean, I think this school was amazing, man. I learned a lot more things about you and how you do your thing. So it was pretty dope. So now I hopefully I get that sweater though, right?
I got this message just shows I gotta look for it.
But I really enjoy
I'm waiting for the mask.
Yeah, I gotta make more of those.
And Jessica says she's waiting for her stuff too. So whatever.
She'll get it soon. It's on the works. So I promise you're gonna get it.
Well, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you, and thank you for everyone that's watching. I appreciate you as well, right? And Johnny, as usual, man.
In the cut. In the cut.
J-Lo.
In the cut.
Man, all I know is you've gained a lot more respect on this podcast from your peers, bro.
I'm about to say it right now.
I know. I could, first and foremost, I could say, I'm glad you've been able to share this story, because, like I said, I know you're usually behind the scenes, and I definitely wanted to let people see a different side that usually they don't see, because they usually see the creative side. But I'm glad they got to see this side as well.
Now you know, if you want to talk, you want to get it out of J-Lo, you got to come with a bottle of wine.
Get on the podcast and get a bottle of wine.
Yeah, you're right. Wine and podcast.
We'll chop it up.
It gets
Yo, this Thursday we back at it again. I see you then.
Thursday, don't miss out. This Thursday too is gonna be another one, and every time after
Thursday we got a special guest coming too.
Oh, man, Thursday too is gonna be real dope. Thursday, next Tuesday, next Thursday, but in the cut. So we're gonna cut it because we can't cover it.
Peace, love.
This is fire.
It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be dope. I promise.